Well, David, you have some news for us regarding Fosrich. We've been hearing about this rights issue for months now. What's the update?
So there's one thing before I get into the Fosrich, Prosperity, you know, we take out the Canco company, the profits would have been down 35%. They did about $32.8 million as a standalone company. Uh, that's at one point. Then with respect to Fosrich, you know, they had initially said, they were going to delay, the equity raise back in March after their financial year results came out. And, now after the first quarter results have been published, they have decided to go ahead, and in this case, raise equity. And, it's a rights issue. So in context, you have to be a shareholder as on record by June 2, which means that, you would have to, well, tomorrow is actually the last day to purchase any shares to be a shareholder on record for the Foster Rights issue. So for those who don't understand what I'm saying, when you buy a stock, you don't actually own that stock immediately. There's a settlement process that needs to occur first. And in Jamaica, we go by T+2, which means the trade day plus 2 business days. So when you buy, for example, Fosrich on Wednesday, that's will be the trade day. Thursday and Friday will be the 2 business days, and settlement will complete on the Friday. So, when I mentioned all of this, you kind of saw Fosrich share price, come down by 9.81%. Today came to that $2.39. And it's kind of interesting because when the news came out after hours last week, Monday, and then when Wednesday came, the price went up from $2.31 to like $3 in just one day. And you see as they get closer to the rights issue, ex-dividend dates and record dates, prices kind of trending back down. First, which is going to basically be capped, at raising about $131 million after fees, since the junior market rules, still restrict, you from not increasing your share capital beyond $500 million, because either you're going to move to the main market or you get an exemption to, remain a junior market but pay main market fees. And Fosrich has another 5 years left and change, with their junior market tax break. So what's going on with Fosrich otherwise? So right now, Fosrich is just going forward in terms of growing the business aggressively throughout all areas that are possible. So they're working in their superstore on Mullines Road, through the GK Pension Fund. They just incorporated a new company in the USA, in Delaware, which is everybody's favorite, place to incorporate a nice S corporation, a C corporation. And
Mm-hmm.
they're looking to go after, the minority contracts, that are going to be going towards minority owned businesses, and also looking at opportunities that will exist, from UN-based contracts where, they're PVC manufactured base right now and other potential business lines in the future.
What are the
Right?
odds of them getting those US government contracts?
It's not impossible. The reality is, if you give the best bid and you give the best pitch, and you are in with guidelines, you win. And the thing
Yeah, well,
is,
I mean, JFP got contracts in the US, not government contracts, but remember when they did their IPO and I was like, you're going to get those? And they got some of those contracts. So, yeah, like you said, it's not impossible. Go for it.
it's about delivery of the service and the product. Are you going to give the quality at the right price, or are you going to give lip with just grand ambitions? And Cecil Foster has more so been delivering on quality and price rather than just lip, because Foster has just been pushing forward, because they have the PVC transformer business, PVC the transformer business with respect to JPS in terms of repairing those transformers, and the PVC business, they're exporting more into the Caribbean, looking at Guyana, they're things opportunities on the USA, and Foster released it back in December 2017, and it's kind of insane in a sense that if you do 10 to 1 to adjust for the stock split, like your investment at 20 cents, which should have been $2 before the stock split price, would be worth $2 now, almost 5 years later. So even with the pandemic, impacting, our equity prices over the last 2 years and everything, Pasture is basically, quote unquote what? Probably 10x, just 5 years, which isn't a bad return considering everything else being equal.
That's an amazing return. You understated that, which isn't a bad return. 10x in 5 years is a wonderful return.
Yeah, and the thing is, even though the company, saw a slight
Better than
reduction
politician pay increase.
well, good one. But although Fosrich saw a 20% decline, in the first quarter net profit, you have to remember Fosrich's 100% tax emission would have been gone, considering the fact that their initial 5 years would have expired, so they pay 50% tax emission now. But we're about $1 billion in sales, and just keep expanding and growing. And the good thing about equity raise, in this case, the rights issue, is that if it starts to be completed, it actually brings down Fosrich's debt to equity ratio, which does give them a little bit more space to actually raise debt for other future projects. So while the stock price has come down this year, the reality is business has not. It's kept chugging along, going forward. So that's just my little update on Fosrich. And I'm not telling person to go and buy any Fosrich shares. I'm just pointing out, that to be on record, tomorrow's the last day that you have the time or the chance to actually qualify to be on record for the rights issue.
I think we need to have Fosrich back on to talk about some of these developments and the contracts that they're eyeing and so on. We need an update from Fosrich since the last time they were on. Now, Faye, I have a comment for you from Shelly Ann. She has 2 comments actually. She says, "You are wrong there. Jamaicans in North America don't care about the price of Jamaican food. We are going to buy them because we need them." And then she said, "I ate my last tin of ackee yesterday. Jamaicans miss Jamaican food more than we miss family and friends. Once I land in Jamaica, if patty costs $5,000, I'm still buying it."
Well, I'm sure Spurtree will be very, very happy to hear that.
I was thinking the same thing. You said it's a premium product, but it's like some women and their hair, like they don't care how much it costs. Hair have to do. Jamaican
Well,
food have to eat.
okay, noted.
One thing to kind of point out, Kalila, in the
Mhm.
case of Spirtree, they actually brought Canco, the company they bought, back into profitability. So if you look at the acquisition details, Canco was operating at a loss most of 2022. And just in the first quarter, they're profitable now. So Spirtree knows what they're doing in terms of, turning a quote unquote opportunity, in this case where they acquired the business, into a future opportunity to drive greater earnings.
So on that note, Eat, Play, Grow has a question. And I asked this question, of course, with the caveat that this is not investment advice. Consult with your licensed financial advisor to see what investments are right with you. But she wants to know what's a better buy, Fosrich or Spurtree, in your opinions? Having looked at the growth and the trajectories of both companies, what do you think? Not necessarily for this particular person, because we don't know what her goals are, but in general.
In general, I would say Spurtree is suited for someone who intends to hold for a while. So if you know that you're in it for a long while because they're on a growth path, they're acquiring companies and they're growing, then Spurtree is definitely a good bet.
And what would you say, David?
I'll go with Fosrich right now, and considering the fact that while Spirtree has this new pathway through massive holdings, and growing further and further in export markets, their growth is going to be driven based on the diversification of their product range. Because while they've acquired Canco and they're still mainly in sauces, you're going to have a limitation on the potential pool of customers that you're going to have, in a sense. Can grow in Jamaica more to grow the domestic share and grow your income at home, but most of the business are in exports. So, I really think I need to just step forward to grow, or diversify that range. It doesn't mean I'm not saying that you're not an appropriate company. I'm just wanting to your growth path is not going to be as relatively fast as Fosrich, which even if, for example, you're seeing construction slow down, Fosrich is basically, diversifying their business and market spheres in different directions. I highlighted the US opportunity, highlighted the export opportunity, Guyana, Barbados, highlighted the PVC manufacturing business and, the superstore and, the PVC, the transformer repair business. So Fosrich has the stronger growth path. And the reality is if Fosrich stock price, shot up that fast last year and, they have a much a greater perspective path going forward. I don't know what to say, but both companies are great, businesses in their own respect. Just understand that Fosrich has 5 years, it's on a tax break. It's very true, just getting started.
Okay, well, there you have it. Two different opinions. And like we said before, it depends on your goals. Faye clearly said if you intend to hold, then Spur Tree is something that you want to consider. Thanks again, David. Thank you, Faye.